Good morning. My name is Sakshi Rani and this is my second demo on PayPal integration project. Today we are going to understand what are the different API which PayPal external system provides. For that we have to understand the basic internal working of the PayPal system. For that we have three systems: e-commerce system, e-commerce system, payment payment system, and the third one is external PayPal system. Inside the e-commerce system we have the two components. First one is UI, front end UI. Front end UI. This is e-commerce front end UI, and the second one is e-commerce backend. E-commerce backend. So the and in the payment system we have three microservices. We have three microservices. First one is validation service. Validation service. Second one is processing service. Processing service. Third one is PayPal provider service. PayPal PayPal provider service. We are going to build three microservices inside our payment system, and that will call the external PayPal system. So the basic process is: first, in the front end UI, user interact in the front end UI where he have to where user clicks on pay now button, and and an internal communication happen with the SDK library. SDK library calls a hook point in the e-commerce front end itself. Calls a hook point in the internal process itself. That is order. That is, I'll show you. That is this this create order hook is called by the front by the in the front end UI. It is called by the SDK library. So in SDK library, so when we are calling the hook, it will go to the e-commerce backend. For that we have to create a order. Then e-commerce server call our validation service, where all the validation process happen, whether the request is good or the field validations, business validation, all validations are happen in this validation service. After that, after validating the call, it says it goes to the processing service. Inside the processing service we want to make a payment by PayPal. Here we are writing the core logic. In processing service we are writing the core payment logic. This is where we are writing the core payment logic. After processing service it goes to the PayPal provider. Then through PayPal providers interact with the external PayPal system. For interacting with the external PayPal system, payment system should invoke an API, that is v2 slash checkout order API. This is the API which payment system should invoke. For communication with external PayPal system. In the PayPal system, how the payment system interact with external payment system. For that, payment system should invoke the API. that is V2 checkout order API. And today we are going, in this demo we are going to understand how this all those API works, how, what kind of paper system, what kind of theory, what kind of code a paper system provides that should interact with the e-commerce system, how the user sending the request, and that request is, and that response is sending back to the request. All those thing we are going to understand in this demo. And for exploring the API to understand whatever the documents say, we are going to test all those API in the Postman. For that, for that, first of all, we have to authenticate. We have to authenticate the request, whether to check whether the request is coming from the verified user or not. And for that, PayPal provides a code to get an access token using kern. And for that, this is a code which is written on the kern. So I'm going to import this code on in my Postman. Import this code in my Postman, and the collection name is PayPal API testing. Import this collection. It is automatically converted into the PayPal as per the PayPal code. And it is really interesting that Postman provides this kind of facility. So it is authentication API. Now we are going to run. We have to check that whether all those things is correct, perfectly importing or not. I am seeing that all those things is perfectly importing as per the curl code. So this is here. We can also import all those manually by reading all those instruction which is given in the this documentation. But for time saving, I directly import a curl, and that is going to convert into the Postman as per the Postman code. So I'm going to send this request, check this whether is this API working. So it's saying it is unauthorized because i'm not going to I'm not uh, putting my client ID and my client secret, which is really important when the client, when the request is coming from a genuine client. So I'm going to put the username and password in this box. Here I'm going to take my client ID, that is my client ID, paste, and that is my secret password. Okay, it was going to take us some time, but it's going to be okay. Paste. Now I already inserted a username and password. Now I'm going to check whether it's working or not. Maybe it's not working. I have to refresh this page first of all. Copy this secret. It's copied, paste, and then send a request. Now it's working. It's showing 200. Okay, we have to check whether this is going to be as per our. So this is a curl code, and this is a response whatever we are got, which is mentioned in this document, and get we are getting the same request which is in this JSON format, and it show that this is expires, and that is 32,400 second, which is approximately 8 hours. This authentication API will work for 8 hours, so we are not going to worry about for we are not going to worry whether this is work. We are not going to change this API for the next 8 hours. So it is perfect for checking all other API by this authentication API. So this is the username, and which is the password which is used by all other APIs. Now the second step is to check the order API, which is when the user when the user click on the pay now button, that pay now button automatically create a callback, that is create order, and we have to check whether this API is working or not. For that, we are going to the order section of the PayPal document. This is the order section. It's going to take time, but it's okay. This is a create order section where the payment system, I already discussed that the payment system have to invoke this API to communicate with external PayPal system and then sending a request to the user as per the user sending request. So now in this create order, we are not going to send our data in the request param format, because in request param format, all the data are easily visible to everyone, and that is risk to the security. And that is why we are going to send the request in the format of JSON format, and it is inside the request body. JSON format, it's basically written the data in the key and value in the key and value format, and which is automatically converted into the object. And in JSON we have flexibility of writing various type of data in a more in a more better organizing way, and that is why we are going to use a JSON format to write the whole data. Here, this is our API, and this is the curl code. We are going to copy this curl code and checking in the Postman. For that, I'm going to import the curl code for the order API. It's in the PayPal API testing. Import into the collection, and I'm going to change this as a PayPal order API. This is the order API. Now we are going to check whether this is in the correct format. This is the JSON format which I am talking about. Now I'm going to send the request. Where it's working on, we have to check. Now it's showing the unauthorized, and this same error we was getting we were getting in the authentication API, and that is because of we have to check the auth type, and that is our auth type is basic auth type, where I am getting this idea that we have to insert the basic auth. This all those information is available in the PayPal documentation. So here I'm already inserting the username and password. Now I already select the auth type also. Now I'm going to send whether it's working or not. It's showing the unknown error. In being a developer, we have to understand why the error came and how we are going to solve all those errors, because it is a critical thinking part, logical thinking part, and this all problem solving part we have to understand, we have to build by ourselves. So this in this demo I'm also building the problem solving skills. In this we are getting the unknown error. Why we are getting the unknown error? It is because of it is because of the issue that is describing presenting here is missing shipping address. Why shipping address is missing is because of in this JSON format is showing that the shipping address is required when shipping preference is set provided address. In JSON format is showing that we have to compulsory add the shipping address. If it's not if we are not providing the shipping address, we are missing. We are getting the unknown error. So now check in the body section whether it's whether there is any kind of key which named as a shipping address, or yeah, there is shipping preference which is set provided address, which is compulsory to set provided. As we are not going to as we are right now we have to check whether this order API is working or not. Suppose I'm commenting this thing, and we will check this later when actually we are going to place an order, where we will set the shipping address. For right now, I'm commenting this and now check whether this order API is working or not. If it works, then it will correctly works on our code in the future. So it automatically work. And this is a response which we are getting when we are sending this API. And this API, this is the API which I am talking about. That payment system should invoke this API to the PayPal system, external PayPal system, and from where we are getting the response as in this format. This is a response. This is the response we are getting, and this is a pay payer section action. So by doing this experiment, I must confirm that this order API must work in our code as well. Now now this is a response which is going to the user merchant page. I'm entering the merchant API link. This is where the user will get this page whenever he pays, whenever he click on pay now button. Now this is a PayPal which is user is getting. Now I have to enter, or user have to enter their email ID and password. So for testing purpose, I am going to use the sandbox account where I get the email and password. This is the email, and we are going to copy this password. Is showing hi John. Okay. Now the user having now whenever the user log in into the into checkout payment, they will provide a lot of option: PayPal balance credit, Visa, PayPal credit, all those all the response we are getting, and it will be it will be the code of this response or the data of this response are present in the JSON format in the API which will be provided by the PayPal. Now the user want to complete their purchase, so I'm clicking on the complete purchase button. It's showing it is directed to the some other page. It means the it means the user is successfully able to make a payment from a PayPal system. Now we have to check whether the status is changing in the order payment or not. So yeah, but it's still showing that a status is payer action required. Okay, it means now we have to check whether the amount is debited from the user account or not. For that, we are going to check. It's in this. Originally, we have 4,899 as in the user account as a PayPal balance. We have to check whether it's deducted or not. For that, I am going to refresh the dashboard. It's still showing that it is not deducted from the user. And why it is not deducted? Because as directly to the other page, but still the payment is not deducted. Why it is not deducted? It's because of we have to check whether it's working or not. So when the create order, it's create order is checking the merchant server. Then from the merchant server we are going to invoke a API request where the order is created, return order ID is returned, and we have to launch checkout browser pop-up. Yeah, we are getting that browser pop-out, and from that buyer log in the username and password, and for that before after that is complete the checkout. After that, order approved is showing the order approved on approved callback, but on after the order is approved from the PayPal SDK, there is another callback generated on approved callback. For that, from the merchant page to the merchant server, there is a one other capture order API is generated, and that capture order is order ID capture that is going to the merchant server to PayPal order API. Up to that, up to order approved, we are completing, we are checking that whether this API is work. Up to that, all our process is correct, all user is successfully logging into the user into the PayPal account, and successfully successfully completed the PayPal payments, successfully completed the payment. but but the account is not deducted is because of all these processes missing from our side, that is capture order. We had to invoke this API to check whether the order is captured by the PayPal system or not. It is kind of pay in method where money is not deducted from the customer, so it is not showing in the e-commerce merchant. In the PayPal PSV account, money is not credited because it's not deducted from the customer. That is a pay in operation. For that, we have to check the capture order. There is a capture payment order. This is a confirmation order that money is successfully deducted from the from the user, and it is captured by the PayPal system. For that, this is a API. It should be invoked by the merchant server. Now I'm going to check this capture order API in the Postman. For that, I'm going to import the curl code. I copy the curl code and importing on the import in the Postman. The collection name is PayPal API test. Import into the collection. This is capture. This is PayPal capture API. Now we have to check the or we have to change the authorization, that is from the no inherit auth to the basic auth. It is the username and password which is authenticate, which is unique to the each user. Now I'm going to send the request. Whether it's working or not, we are going to check. It's showing that it's not found. Why it's not found? It's showing that the error is 404 not found. It is a new error we got right now. So it's showing that a specified resource ID doesn't exist. Resource ID, invalid resource ID. So what is a resource ID? We have to check whether there is an ID or something. This is the ID, and yeah, there here in a API is showing the ID which is unique to every customer order. And for this ID we will get from the order API, which is idea. This is the ID we got from the order API when the user make an order, and when the user completed his payment from their side. We are going to copy this order ID, and we are going to put into the capture ID because it's dynamically changing this order ID from one customer to other customer. Now we are going to check whether it's working or not. Yeah, now it's showing that 201 is created. It's completed. The status of capturing is completed. Now we are going to check whether it's in order API. Yeah, this is a capture order. Now we are going to check whether it's showing the detail of order API or not. For that, we are going to go into the confirm order. We are going into the confirm order. It is we are here the process is as per this diagram, this flowchart. It is provided by the PayPal document, PayPal person, developer, and we have to understand this process, and we have to accordingly this process we are going to check whether our API works or not. So up to that capture order, we already proved that all API is working successfully, all API testing successfully. Now we have to check the order, confirm the order status, whether it's confirming from the PayPal system or not. For that, I am follow the same procedure which I followed for the previous two APIs. Copy the curl, importing into the Postman, changing the collection name, import into the collection, changing the name to the confirm PayPal, confirm order. Now this is and changing the authorization from to basic auth. This is the username and password. We have to check with, yeah, we have to also we have to change the order ID. Because of that, this error is found. So from the order API, we are going to take the order ID. This is our unique order ID. This is our unique order ID. We are going to paste in here in this section, in this place. Now we are going to check whether it's working or not. It's showing the order already captured. Why? Okay, unknown error. Order already captured. It's showing the order is already captured, and confirm is all, because in capture is showing its status is completed. So we have to check in the show order detail whether it's showing the detail or not. For that, we are follow the same procedure. Changing the collection name, import into the collection, changing the idea, PayPal show detail, changing the order ID. This is the order ID. I'm going to copy and confirm show detail. Show detail and authorization. Sorry, authorization is basic author. Sender. Now it's showing the status is completed. It means the money is deducted from the account, user account. Now we are going to prove that it is successfully deducted or not. It's showing the 4,899 account balance in the user dashboard. Now I'm going to refresh this and whether it's deducted or not. $1,000 should be deducted from the user account. Now it's showing that the user is deducted. It means user is successfully completed the transaction, placing the order, and the money is also deducted from the user account. This is the thing we have. This is why we are testing the API, to check whether the API is working, or to check whether the API, whatever the correction we are needed to implement in our code, we are needed in the API that for further, so that we can easily implement this API in our project, and it successfully deducted from the e-commerce. Now suppose if the user want to place another order, whether this same order API will work or not, we have to check. Now we are going to send the same request. Sorry. Now we are going to invoke the same request from the payment system to the external PayPal system. Now we will check whether it's working or not. It's showing the order already captured. It means this order API will not be work because it's already captured. We have to find some unique parameter which is unique to one order ID. For that, I am going to again go to the order details and create order API. We have to find whether which parameter is unique in this. Um, Here is a reference ID which is I think that it is going to be unique. Let's check whether to change one. I'm going to change the value to the one because it is preferably good to kept in the lower account. This is a reference ID. I am going to change the reference ID from B2. Let's make a change and let's check whether it's working or not, whether this is a unique reference ID or not. So I found that this is a not unique ID. We have to find another thing. In the header section, there is also a request ID, paper request ID, which is also going to be maybe which is also going to be different and unique. Now let's check whether it's working or not. I'm going to change the request ID. This is a request ID. Yeah, I'm going to change the request ID. Save. Now check whether it's working or not. It's working. It means the PayPal request ID is unique one, and when the user place another order, the PayPal request ID is going to be different. It's going to be unique, and that is why at every request order, the user will get a different request ID from which it is easy for the PayPal system to identify that whether the user is placing the same order continuously concurrently again and again, or whether the order details and order API is different, request ID is different. Now it's showing that there's a different thing. We are getting this link and we are going to the browser, copy this link, and we are again going to the browser where this link will directed to the user payment system. Now in developer dashboard, this is a user. Now we are going to see that this is the account balance right now in the uh, in the user dashboard. We are copying the password and paste into this password. This is a payment page for the user, which will be showing at the time of making the payment when the user on the click on the pay now button. This is a now the user is going to click on the complete purchase button to check. Now this is a different request ID. We have to check whether this is going to be complete or not. The same all procedures are same, which I was demonstrate a few minutes ago. So it is going to redirect it to the other page, and now we are going to see what is the status of different thing. In show detail, we are going to check whether um, yeah in order API we are getting a different order ID. We are going to pass this order ID to every other API for checking whether the order is placed or not from in the PayPal system. So this is the user ID which I got from the other payment request ID. There is showing the status is approved. It means whichever order the user placed from their side is showing the approved in the pay in this API. Now we have to check whether it's going to capture the API or not. In capture, we are also going to change the ID in this capture API also. Now check whether it's working or not. It's showing it's completed. It means the money will be deducted from the account of the user, and we are going to check whether it's deducted or not. Now it's showing that the 4799 is deducted or not. It will be checking. If it is deducted, then it's showing the 47898. Yeah, it's deducted. It means the order is successfully completed. Order is successfully placed by the user and the status is the state and confirmation is sending to the PayPal system. This is the status which is completed, and now we are checking what is the show detail is showing. Whether it's their status changed. Yeah, their status is changed and it's showing is completed. And this is the demonstration which I preferably want to demonstrate on the Postman, because it will give us an idea how to read the document, how to apply all those information which is available in the PayPal documentation, and we have to apply all those concepts in our real world, in our own system, so that we can create methods, we can create a business logic for implementing all those APIs, for successfully completing the payment PayPal, for successfully placing the order and successfully deducted the money from the user. And this all those demonstration which I am showing today is really worthful, that all those API requests is successfully demonstrate is successfully showing the status without any error. And some of the error we are getting, but I solve all those error with my problem solving skill, with reading the error and with finding the error, what is the mistake which I got when I send the request. And this all those requests, all those little things we have to understand, we have to identify, and we have to find all those solution for the error. And that's where our project will be going to be successful. So this is the demonstration, this is the end of the demonstration. Thank you for watching up to this end.